Hi, this is Harry. This is my partner Raj. He's a seasoned buyer's agent, property developer, and an experienced data analyst.
And this is Harry. Harry is a seasoned property developer and a property investor for the last 40 years.
So what are we going to talk about today, Raj?
Yeah, so what we're going to talk about today is how to scale from one property to the next property, and how do you scale up your portfolio. What are the ways to do it, and what are the most efficient way that we think some of the seasoned property investors do.
So most property owners or investors buy no more than one property, but that's not where the holy grail is.
So there are two things that you need. Generally, you need to buy properties. What are the two things, Harry?
You need deposit and serviceability. Now, serviceability means income.
Yeah. Unless you have the entire cash to buy the property, you would definitely need banks' help to fund those property purchases. So you would need your deposit and your loan servicing capability, which is we call it serviceability.
So how do we increase those two things? Because that's the key. If we increase those two things, your income, which means three ways of doing that, is either on your first property get a better rental return, at your job ask for a pay rise, or change jobs, re-educate yourself and find a new career path. Arch?
Just discussed about those two things. How do you make money for your next property purchase in terms of your deposit, and how do you service that next property purchase? So let's just talk about how can you generate that deposit amount. What are the ways?
Best way is to find a property that'll grow really quickly in growth, and you pull that money out to buy your next property.
What Harry is mentioning here is, if you had bought the first property in a place where there's growth in the short term, which means that the property purchase price would have gone up in value. Now you have an equity you can draw on to a certain extent, and the banks would support that, and you could use that equity to put towards as a deposit for your next property, right? So we've seen deposits. So you could look at saving the money. You could look at borrowing for deposits as well. Some people do it, but the most efficient way to do it is to be able to extract the money from your already bought property, or your property, your second property, or both together sometimes.
And we don't want you to get 7 jobs to do this. So the growth in the first property is the key, and we don't want you to wait 20 years to get a growth in that property.
Yeah. So on the servicing side, let's see the servicing side. When you go on to purchasing the next property, you would need serviceability for purchasing that as well. Now, the serviceability can increase or even stay the same when your expenses aren't higher than how it used to be when you purchased your first property, right? So when you purchased your first property, the property is giving you some rental income. Now, when you go to the bank for your second property loan, they would look at your servicing capacity. And if that servicing capacity hasn't diminished as much as how it used to be before, they'll be happy to lend you for your next property purchase. When we see how the takeaway message from here for this video is, how can you find these properties in growth zones, growth areas, such that the growth is about to happen in the next 1 to 2 years after you purchase the property.
And let us know how you find them.
Yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts as well. And the other thing is to be able to support these purchases with its own rental income.
And that's us for today, guys. Thank you.